Hi, coming to you from my office. Okay, so let's talk about, seriously, I'm in my car making this because I'm very early to a showing and I thought, you know what? Why not? So we have a change of scenery. I hope you like it. So in this video, we are talking about words that you read on listing descriptions. What exactly are they talking about? So let's dive in and get started. This video has come about because there's some language here that we say or use in East Tennessee and Knoxville area to describe things that I've noticed my people that are moving here are like, what does that even mean? So number one, I've got a whole list for you, by the way. All right, number one, if it says mature neighborhood, the short version of this is it's saying that there's trees, like fully grown trees, because new construction areas, for the most part, it's a scorched earth policy. Not technically, they're not scorching the earth, but they're cutting all the trees down. Okay, they're leveling it. They're grading it. They're bringing dirt in, and all the trees are gone, totally gone. So if you see like mature neighborhood, it's saying like there's trees, but also the houses are going to be probably 2000s, 1990 or older. So it's just saying it's established there's trees. Okay, check that one off. Why would a listing agent mention that there's sidewalks? Because sidewalks are rare. So if you see walkability or if you see sidewalks, we don't really have that here. There's very few neighborhoods. And actually, I did a whole series of videos about this. And according to that series, 27-ish% of homes in East Tennessee, it was East Tennessee or Knoxville, one of them, had sidewalks, which could theoretically be like the entrance of the subdivision has a sidewalk. Okay, so I wouldn't count on having a sidewalk. And if you see walkability, that is also rare because Knoxville is not really a walkable place. There are very few places where I would say that's walkable. So that's why that matters. That's why people are saying that one. I think this one is pretty straightforward, but if you see original flooring, original hardwoods, original granite, original slate, you might see original stone. So that's obviously just speaking to the fact that the flooring, the hardwoods are original. Sometimes that's great. They've been refinished. And sometimes that's telling you there's potential. So look at the pictures, check them out. And that flooring might need to be refinished. So that is simply saying, yeah, the flooring's original and it could be great, in great condition, or it could need some love. That takes you to the term it's got potential. I think most people knows what this means, but I've had a couple people ask, like, when they say it has potential, that means there's work that needs to be done, or it needs a new visionary, it needs some new decor, or it needs new painting, or it needs to be brought into 2024, 2025, whenever you're watching this. So that is potential. And obviously to realize that potential, you have to be able to see it or have someone that can see it. I am not, when it comes to like looking at houses for myself, I am not a potential seer. I'm like, ugh. Now, my husband, he can see potential. Like when he picks out flooring or paint or whatever, he can see the vision of it. Whereas I'm like, ugh, God, no. But he can do it. So get someone on your side who can see the potential when you're looking. Generously sized bedrooms. So this is telling you the bedrooms are huge. Probably you could fit 2 bedrooms in 1 bedroom. Usually when you say generously sized, that's saying they're especially large. Some people like that. Some people are like, ugh, there's too much room. So that would be generously sized bedrooms. It's a nice way to say that they're huge. And sometimes not in a good way. As is. Okay, this is saying you can do an inspection, but we're not fixing anything. Now, does that always happen? It depends on the situation. It depends on if you get an inspection and something's really wrong that a seller is going to have to disclose, they might fix it. It all depends on the situation. But theoretically, as is means the seller is telling you, hey, do an inspection, do what you want to do, but we're not fixing anything. So that's typically what as is. You will have some that are going to say like do your inspection before. That's typically with investment properties. Bring your contractor before you get under contract. Like they don't want to deal with an inspection period in general. But if it's a house you're buying to live in, or is in like decent condition, is move-in ready, then you can still do an inspection. They're just saying they're not going to fix anything. So that is as is. Okay, what about split floor plan? That is saying that there's a primary bedroom on one side and the other bedrooms on the other. You see this often in a ranch house where you might walk in, like the front door is kind of in the middle and you've got like kitchen, living area, like all that's in the middle. And then you have 2 bedrooms on one side and a primary or master bedroom on the other side. So when it says split floor plan, it's saying the bedrooms are split on either side of the house. Rough plumbed in the basement. This means that if something is rough plumbed in general, that means like you've got the plumbing, but it's not actually finished. So the toilet's not there. Like you could add a shower, you could add a toilet. There are the pipes that go to the sewer and the water pipe that would bring water. That's there. It's just not all set up. So if it says rough plumbed, that means like, that's especially ideal when it's a unfinished basement on a slab, because that means you're not going to have to cut into the concrete. So that's a plus for sure. That's telling you, hey, you could put another bathroom in here without having to do a bunch of plumbing. So that's a good thing. Bonus rooms. Now, bonus room would typically indicate that it's a room over the garage. However, sometimes you might see that a home is categorized as a 2-bedroom house, but then it says 2 additional bonus rooms. Technically, it's 2 bedrooms because it's probably septic rated for 2 bedrooms. However, there might be, when it says 2 bonus rooms, it's possible that there's 2 other bedrooms. So it's a 4-bedroom house. It's just that the septic permit is for 2 bedrooms. So we cannot market it as a 2-bedroom house. So when you see that, typically that means that if there's a discrepancy between the number of bedrooms and then the bedrooms or rooms described, what you're typically seeing is that the septic permit is for less than what the number of bedrooms are, which isn't necessarily a deal killer. Just know that beforehand. You want to be able to see the septic permit. You want to be able to see what it's rated for. That should not be a surprise at any point. You should know that before you get under contract. Some homes don't have any permits on file, so the bedrooms are the bedrooms. And that's not a red flag. That just might mean that that permit was so old that the county didn't keep it anymore. Or like if no file was found, that's not necessarily a bad or like red flag sign. If that is a concern for you, you want to, do your due diligence. For some people, that might mean having the septic cleaned out. That could be asking when is the last time the septic was cleaned out. So there's a lot of things there that you could do around the septic tank. But if you're seeing a discrepancy between bedrooms and then bonus rooms, or if it says like could be used as a office or an additional space, we can't really call it a bedroom. So that's what that's about. Okay. Encapsulated crawl space, that means work has been done to encapsulate, as it says, crawl space. Simply, this is going to include a dehumidifier that is plumbed out, that is taking the humidity out of the air, and it is taking water out of the air, and it is basically avoiding a bunch of moisture in the crawl space. So if it's encapsulated, I don't necessarily think it's temperature controlled, but they're controlling the humidity in the basement. And like a very nice crawl space encapsulation is lots of dollars. So that's a good thing, because obviously here we've got moisture, we've got humidity. And so that's going to prevent the house from deteriorating over time, especially after the long haul. Now, if it's not encapsulated, that's okay, but you at least probably want a vapor barrier down in the crawl space. So that's what that is. Walkout basement. This means that there is a basement and there are doors out to the backyard or front yard or side yard. There are doors out from the basement to the outside. This could include like a basement rancher where the garage is on that level. Technically that's a walkout, but usually when we say walkout, that means there's some sort of access to the backyard or side yard. This is especially nice if you are wanting to use your space for a second living space. When we say walkout basement, we're saying, okay, well, somebody could live down here. They don't have to come in through the front door. It kind of implies that you could make this a secondary living space, which is a good thing. All right. Now, the last thing I wanted to touch on is when you see something, when it says something is level, please note, very few things here are level because we are in the mountains. We do have some flat yards. Yes, we have them. However, I would proceed with caution especially if you're shopping sight unseen. If you're not going to be coming here, in a level yard is very important to you, then I would make sure like that whoever you're working with is telling you, hey, this is not level, or it could be Tennessee flat. That's what I call it, where it's kind of level, but there's a slope up or down. So just know that you're going to see a lot of rolling and level. So that's going to tell me, yeah, one part of this is level and the rest of it is not. And maybe the part where the house is immediately is level and everything else could be rolling or steep. So anyways, let me know like what words I'm missing. If you're seeing stuff that you're like, what does this mean? Tell me, I'll make another video, or you can always reach out to me directly. In the meantime, I hope this has been helpful, and happy house hunting. As always, I'm always striving to be helpful, give you information that's going to keep you informed when it comes to moving to the East Tennessee and Knoxville area. I'm Haley Jones. Click subscribe to see more, and I'll see you next time.